and welcome. I'm Chesley McNeil, and this is The Take, where we go above and beyond the headlines and look at why and how stories are impacting you and your community. Experts will join us on the show, and they will share their take on these stories. Today, let's get started with moving Atlanta forward. That's the message from Mayor Andre Dickens. In his annual State of the City address last night, he laid out his vision for the year, focusing on public safety, affordable housing, and economic growth. This comes as he's also gearing up to run for re-election later on this year. The mayor focused on his administration's progress, pointing to a drop in crime, major infrastructure improvements, and efforts to expand affordable housing. He also said he's focused on economic development, including downtown revitalization projects like Centennial Yards and the Civic Center redevelopment, and preparing the city for the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
I want to ensure that when the World Cup hits Atlanta next year, that it doesn't just happen to Atlanta, that it happens with Atlanta. That's why we launched Showcase Atlanta. Showcase Atlanta will live beyond the World Cup to ensure that when a major event comes to Atlanta, that Atlantans truly are the ones that benefit.
All right, here with his take on the State of the City address is Member at Large of the Atlanta City Council, Matt Westmoreland. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here with you.
All right, give us your take on that address.
Yeah, I mean, we think about it last night, a room full of Atlanta, representing the diversity of this city, talking about the achievements of the last 3 years and looking forward to the future. You've hit a couple of highlights already, whether it's drop in crime, the thousands of affordable housing units that have come online, and then looking to the future, to the World Cup that'll be here in 2026, to the parkland. We've acquired 600 acres of new parkland over the last 3 years and been bringing that online so that more Atlantans can enjoy it every single day.
Well, you mentioned it, the drop in crime. The mayor says that homicides are down to roughly about a quarter where they were in 2022. How much do you think the mayor can take for that stat? How much credit can he take?
Sure. I think if you look at the investments we've made in public safety, whether it's raising pay for police officers and firefighters, buying hundreds of take-home cars for officers to take home with themselves. Last summer, Atlanta city government helped employ 14,000 youth, and we might have seen a 26% drop in homicides over the last couple of years, but we saw a 50% drop in youth crime last summer. And so I think if you take all of those different pieces together, you see a really concerted effort on the part of a lot of different folks to help make folks feel safe.
Okay, so then the mayor says he's going to mention that he'd be running for re-election. Okay, let's listen to a little piece of his speech at the end right there. Let's roll it.
Okay.
I hope one thing has been made clear here tonight, that I'm a man of my word. When I make promises, the group project sets in motion and we get the job done. So hear me clearly when I say this. I promise that in Atlanta, our love will look like something. And love looks like fighting every day for progress and breaking down barriers to opportunity.
Sounds like he's, trying to set himself up for the next 4 years. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, it sounds fired up and ready to go to me. I've had the opportunity to serve as a colleague of Andre when he was on council, now Mayor Dickens, and we got more work to do. We recently, a couple months ago, made the largest investment ever in homelessness, but now we've got to get that $60 million out the door and get people into homes. We've just got more work to do. We made investment last week in opening 2 new grocery stores, one downtown, one down Campbellton Road, but we've got to get those open. There's just a lot more to do to both get Atlanta ready for the World Cup. We're going to have 300,000 visitors over the course of a month. It's going to be great. But we got more work to do to make downtown Atlanta a place that is home to tens of thousands of people. And it sounded to me like the mayor's ready for another 4 years.
Yeah. Do you see any challenges rising up against him?
I don't, actually. It's been pretty quiet so far. It's almost March. And so Atlanta's got a pretty long history when mayors seek re-election of those people getting another 4 years. And I suspect the same will be true this time around.
How much will he have to get done of the things he promised for that to happen?
Well, from a political perspective, I think he's in pretty good shape. Mm-hmm. But fortunately, Mayor Dickens doesn't just look at politics. I think he looks at, he's got housing goals that he wants to meet. He's got a AAA finance rating that we need to keep. Youth are going to be ready for another summer program. We've got work to do downtown and elsewhere. There's a long list of things that'll keep us busy for the next 4.5, 5 years.
On that list, what would be the biggest, you say?
What would be the biggest?
Yeah.
Probably housing. It's and infrastructure. I think we've got housing units that we've got to deliver, and then we've got to continue to pave streets, to pour sidewalks, and to protect bike lanes. That's probably the topic I hear the most about from Atlantans. Is we want to be able to drive smoothly in our cars, but we want to get out of our cars and walk on a sidewalk or get in a protected bike lane, and we've got to continue to deliver those.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Got a big tournament coming up in 2026, so I know you're gearing up for that as well. Matt Westmoreland, I want to thank you for coming on the show and giving us your insight on last night's speech.
Always appreciate the invite.
All right. Appreciate it. Take care. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, folks. Hey, we're gearing up for a beautiful, beautiful day.